Alright, hello everybody, this is NewYorkai's here with the Warframe fashion video. Now this is my second time recording this because the first recording came out way too long at 50 minutes. So we're about to try to make this under 20, but we're not going to be going too in-depth. If you can really tell this based on just looking at it, what my vibe is. It's a lot of orange, a lot of whites, a lot of blacks. So here with the first one we have Ash Prime here, rocking the Apollo sign on with the Fractal shoulder and the Mugi Prime leg plates with the Apollo sign on, of course, using the Shroud skin and helmet. Next Warframe is going to be Atlas Prime, using his deluxe helmet with the Grax skin with Prime details turned on. This is not white, it's mostly red, more of a dark red color, and the metallic, of course, you know, for his headpiece being Storm C3R3. If you see any metallic, it is going to be this color right here, C3R3. That's my favorite one, right there. Next Warframe, also using the Temple sign on. Next Warframe is Banshee Prime, using the Sonority helmet and Sonority skin, more of a white purplish mix. Energy colors, you know, we obviously have to replace this with like an orange from Shamrock as well. For the attachments, we're going to be using Targus Prime and Syrinx, with the Katia chestplate, signed on being the one that came, with Hildryn being the Serrated signed on, with the leg plates being Targus Prime. Next Warframe is going to be Baruch. Baruch being one of the best Steel Path Warframes featured in my last video, top 5 Warframes of Steel Path. He's more of a white with a bluish color. You can take this blue out and replace it with more of a black, or you can do all white. But you know, mostly a black looks pretty good. But you know, we have a very specific vibe here, so we're not really going too in depth. With the signed on it being the Raiji signed on it, with the attachments being a Mugi Prime all around, and with this chest piece being the Yusion chest piece from Tenogen. Next Warframe is going to be Chroma Prime. I do not use Chroma Prime all too often, so he does not look that great, my apologies. But yeah, he has all white with the Mugi Prime. This came with his Prime access, so Mugi Prime all around with the Apollo signed on it, with a nice red and black at the bottom. We're using his Dynasty skin and Dynasty helmet, which is his deluxe. So yeah, that is my favorite Chroma look. Next up is Ember Prime, with her Tenogen skins being the Majesty helmet and skin, with the attachments being a Mugi Prime all around, with the center being Targus Prime, and the signed on it being the stick signed on it. More of like a red and blue color. I don't really play a whole lot of Ember, so she doesn't look that great compared to everybody else, but yeah. Next up is Equinox Prime, using her deluxe skin called the Antonym skin, with also the Excalibur Zato underneath. You can also replace the Agile Cell with like a Rushu. Yeah, this looks pretty good with the Equinox. This shows off pretty much every angle of her, and I really like this one. And it's more, everything is more like a gold and black. Of course, the energy colors is going to be like, you can also do like orange as well and purple, but I'm mostly like rocking, you know, blue and orange on here. I don't think orange and purple looks too great because it doesn't pop on her. Next Warframe is going to be Excalibur Umbra. We're using the Exaltation skin and a helmet with the Prime details on, with the Mugi Prime all around, with the Yusion in the middle. The signed on it is going to be the Sildog signed on it from Tenogen for about $5.99. We have a second look for Excalibur actually. Is going to be Zato. So we have the Fractal on the right arm and his Zato on the left, with their Mugi Prime being the leg pieces, and the signed on it being the stick signed on it. Frost Prime, I don't really have much to say about Frost Prime other than that I don't play him all too often. Frost Prime, we're using the Horka skin and Horka helmet, which is his deluxe one. For his armor, we will be using the Targus Prime all around, the signed on it being the Sildog. It's mostly going to be gold with a nice overall, I guess, reddish one for the overall feel. You can also replace this one with the C3R3, but I really like this black, you know. I just don't like how the bottom is more metallic over here, and then the top is more of a matte color. That's one of the reason I don't like that, and the reason why I kept it to more of a grayish, blackish color. Next Warframe is going to be Guard, being one of my favorite fashion frames that I've ever done. Probably my favorite fashion frame in this video. So instead of like an overall whitish, we're going for like a grayish color here, with this one metallic piece being like jade green. I really like this one. It really brings me back to like a jade warrior aesthetic from, you know, Asian culture and stuff. For Syndana, it's going to be the Ivara Syndana from 10th gen. For the attachments, I don't really rock shoulders. I rock the Edo Prime for the chest and the Imugi Prime for the leg pieces. For the next one is going to be Garuda with the Apollo Syndana with the Edo Prime in the fucking Edo Prime on the arms, Usion in the middle, and Imugi Prime on the legs. Sorry, I stuttered there for a minute. So that is my Garuda look. You can also replace this with like a brighter blue if you want, that's up to you. Next up is my favorite Gauss look. We have more, of course, if it's all metallics, we have to go Storm C3R3. So that's going to be accents C3R3 over here and Storm palette. For all attachments, we're using all Edo Prime, with the Syndana being the Officium Syndana from 10th gen. Oh, go back. No. Next up is going to be Grendel. Grendel is the big boy, the physical body of me after eating too much Chipotle on the weekend. For his helmet, we're using the Glut helmet and his, his default skin because he doesn't have another one. His attachment is going to be Usion all around, with the Edo Prime for the attachments for the shoulders and legs. Syndana is going to be the, I guess, serrated Syndana you can get from Hildryn. Next Warframe is going to be Harrow. This is the first look for Harrow. I really like this look for Harrow, but my favorite look is going to be the B config here. It's going to be a black with a bunch of dark reds, and the engine color is going to be a mix of blue and purple to make that really pop. For the Syndana, it's going to be Apollo Syndana with the Edo Prime armor set all around, with the exception of no chest piece. Next up we have Hildryn, also featured in my Steel Pad video. She's using the Jotunheim Syndana with the Targus Prime all around, with her alt helmet being the Asuran helmet. Now for, sigils, I don't really like rocking sigils or regalia on her. But yeah, Jotunheim Syndana is pretty sick on bulky frames like her. I really like rocking that. Or you can rock her serrated Syndana if you want. Really up to you, personal preference. I really like the Jotunheim Syndana. Next Warframe is going to be Hydroid Prime. I really don't play Hydroid. I don't like Hydroid. I don't fuck with Hydroid. We don't play Hydroid. But we do customize here. For the Syndana, we're going to be the one that came with Khora's Deluxe, the Polkaronopus Syndana. And for the attachments, it's going to be Targus Prime all around. And instead of a whitish, we're going for like blue to give them more of a sea monster vibe. You can replace it with white if you want. I think white still looks pretty sick, but I like the little more greenish blue color. For a little hentai lord. Next up is Nyx Prime, just released. Yeah, this is the newest Prime added to the game. We're going to be using his horse helmet and his regular Prime skin, with the Syndana being the serrated Syndana you get from Hildryn, Factor Prime armor, and the Imugi Prime legs, with of course the Kurbo Usion being in the middle. Next up is Ivara Prime. Ivara Prime is a Warframe I really like, and for the attachment we're using Factor on the right arm, and we're not using one on the left because she has like an attachment on here and it kind of looks pretty good. For the legs we're using Imugi Prime of course, and for the Syndana we're using the Apollo Syndana. The skin is going to be Zamiru from 10th gen, along with the helmet. It looks pretty sick. I really like this look. Of course the energy colors are going to be orange and purple. Next up we have Khora, this deluxe skin of course being the Rushu helmet and the Rushu skin, of course being mostly black for the primary, and this one is more of a pinkish type for her secondary. And of course if you have any metallics, go to C3R3, pick this one, boom bam boom, you're ready to go. And we're using Heartwood for the attachments, and the Syndana is the one that came with her, the one that I can't pronounce. This one right here, the Polkanopus Syndana, or whatever you want to call it, that one looks pretty good. I don't really rock a chest piece here because I don't like covering up the flowers. Next up we have Limbo Prime, one of my personal favorite Warframes in the entire game. We're using the one that came with the attachments that came with the Revenant. It is going to be called the Vitala all around, with the exception being a Mugi Prime on the legs. With the Syndana being Apollo Syndana, you could replace this and give it the armless one to complete that whole sentient vibe look. But yeah, mostly orange and purple on here. So we have to replace this purple with this one, and I think that looks pretty decent on him. But yeah, that is my Limbo, also with the Venari helmet and his deluxe skin, being the Limina skin. Next up is going to be Loki Prime. Loki Prime is using Jotunheim skin and helmet, with the Jotunheim Syndana, with the Imugi Prime all around, mostly like a black, orange, and purple look. I told you, I have a specific aesthetic, so this is what it's gonna be. Next up is Mag Prime. This is not like the other ones. It's going to be mostly black and pink with the Numa Deluxe skin and the failed 10th Gen helmet, with the Syndana being the Officium Syndana, with Edo Prime all around the upper area, with the Mugi Prime being the bottom half. For the Syndana, you could probably replace this with whatever you want. Anything that looks more futuristic, maybe like the Cephalon pseudo one, maybe not Boolean, but you know, this one actually does not look too bad, the Boolean one. But there's actually another one here that looks pretty decent. I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to be the Syndana actually. This one does not look too bad on Mag. Next up for the next one is going to be Mesa Prime, using the Devil Ranger helmet with her Devil Ranger skin with the Falcon helmet, which is from 10th Gen. Syndana is going to be the Teplo Syndana from 10th Gen as well. Mostly all black. Of course, if you have metallics, you go C3, R3, and Storm. And the bandages are mostly a white color. So yeah, that is Mesa Prime, a very nice Warframe. Mirage Prime doesn't get a whole lot of love. We're using the Kuva Justice skin and helmet with the Prime details turned on, because turned off it does not look that great in my opinion. I hate the bulky leg pieces, so I usually take those off. For the Syndana, we are using the Skadian Syndana. And yeah, that's Mirage Prime. She looks pretty decent, more like a blue and black one. You can replace it with the red if you want, but that is my Mirage Prime. Next up, we got Nekros Prime by Bone Daddy Boy. Probably what I need to look like. I should probably start working out and look like Nekros. That is a goal. And we're going to use the Khora helmet and skin. That is going to be his deluxe skin that came a long time ago. For Syndana, you're going to be using the Chroma Syndana, or you can go down here and rock the Stick Syndana, which also fits his vibe. For the helmet, you can go a bunch of different ways with this helmet. You can probably use his regular Prime helmet, does not look too bad. His Akron helmet of course suits him. Lazarus helmet is a very nice helmet as well, but Sharon is probably a helmet that you want to be going with. Sharon just looks pretty damn dope. Next Warframe is going to be Nezha, featured in my Steel Pad video. Of course, we're going to be using the Empyrean skin and helmet, which is the deluxe one, with the Factor Prime shoulder plates all around, with the Reveille being on the bottom. We don't really rock a Syndana because this back piece is too good to rock a Syndana on. So yeah, that is my Nezha Prime. Sorry, not Nezha Prime. That is just my Nezha. Next up is Nidus. We have Nidus with the Night Hunter skin and helmet. Usually more of an all black, orange and black thing, orange and purple. Yes, with the Night Hunter and the Syndana being the one that came with Garuda Deluxe, being the Cicada Syndana. And we don't really rock any leg pieces on here, except for the Etheria on the leg pieces right here. If you can find that Etheria leg plates right here. And for auxiliary, we're actually using the one that came with his deluxe skin, I believe it is, the Reshef Vipaza auxiliary, which actually completes the look. I really like that whole metallic look. You don't have to rock it. Let me show you what it looks like without it. Yeah, it still looks pretty good. But I really like rocking this auxiliary on Nidus. Next up, we have Nova Prime, of course, one of the best Warframes in the game, and we're going to be using her deluxe one. Deluxe skin and helmet are going to be the Nova Atomica skin with the Karushu Noble animation set. I basically use this for all female frames because, yes, it looks great. For the Syndana, we're using a Power Syndana with the attachments being the Fracta and the Edo Prime on the bottom with the Usion in the chest. Next up, we have Nyx Prime. I don't play a lot of Nyx Prime, so she doesn't look that great. But we have Nyx Prime over here with the Athena helmet and the Pasithea skin, which is her deluxe skin, I believe it is. But yeah, I don't play a lot of Nyx because she's kind of doo-doo garbage. So fuck Nyx, she's kind of trash. Please buff. Do you, Rebecca, main Nyx or plain Nyx? She should really be the one getting this rework through. But yeah, Syndana, we're using the Apollo Syndana. And you can replace this like pinkish thing with like a more of a black color, and it probably works even better. So probably replacing it with that, with the Mugi Prime all around for the attachments. Next up is going to be Oberon Prime, my goat daddy, goat boy, who I want to stomp my heart on. Oh god, we have the Taurus helmet, which is this 10 Gen one for $5.99, with the deluxe one being the Oberon Phaeorg skin, We're using mostly all black, and of course the metallic is mostly like a brown white thing. But yeah, it's mostly like a brownish, you know, one with nature, I guess. But Saryn Donna, we're using a Teplo Saryn Donna. You don't have to use a Teplo Saryn Donna. You can pretty much go with whatever you want. You can go with the butterfly looking one. I believe he has a butterfly one up in here somewhere. And Tenogen, yeah, the Saryn Saryn Donna, that goes well with the nature vibe. So, you know, you can use that if you want. But I'm not going to buy the Saryn Donna for one Warframe, let's be real. Not doing that at all. Next up is Octavia. We were using the Diva helmet and skin, which is from Tenogen. Of course, is going to be all black and stuff. For the attachments, we're going to be using Tenocon 2018 on the bottom. We're going to be using the Targus Prime for the chest, and Tenocon 2018 for the armor. For the Saryn Donna, we're going to be using that came with her, which is the Verismo Saryn Donna, which I think looks pretty nice on her. Next up we have Protea. Protea just released, and you know, she's pretty good. For the attachment, we're using the Fractal Prime all around. I mean, not Fractal Prime, we're using the Fractal Shoulder Press all around, the Usion in the middle, with the Mugi Prime on the bottom. For Saryn Donna, we're going to be using the one that came with Hildryn, going to be the Surveyor Saryn Donna. She is, you know, pretty decent. Of course, this one is not the same as everything else. This is more like a pink type of color. I don't think Protea has some amazing fashion frame. Here's hoping Tenogen comes out pretty soon for her. But yeah, Protea looks pretty cool. Next up is Revenant. We have Revenant here, my all metallic boy, using I think Vitala shoulder blades with the Mugi Prime on the bottom, and with the Pakal chest plate in the middle to create that sentient vibe look. And with the Saryn Donna, of course, going to be the armorless Saryn Donna from Tenogen as well. So yeah, he's all sentient vibe. For the helmet, we're using the Vania helmet, which is his alt helmet. The original one does not look that great, and Mortius looks pretty decent. I might pick that up because this looks pretty good on him. Next up, we got Rhino Prime. Rhino Prime, basically Doom guy. You know, basically, this isn't original at all, but you know, this is basically my Rhino Prime. It's just Doom guy. We're using all greens and stuff. The Saryn Donna is going to be the Vacor Saryn Donna you can get from the Steel Meridian. And for the attachments, it's going to be Targus Prime on the right, with Daedalus on the left. And light plates, we're not using pretty much anything. So yeah, that is a Doom guy Rhino. Next up is Saryn Prime. I really like Saryn, especially with this skin. For the helmet, we're using the Villanosa helmet, because I really like the whole, like, she looks like a 50s housewife or something type of thing. We can use a nice motor helmet. Basically use whatever you want. Napulus looks pretty decent as well. For the skin, we use the Nidus motor skin. You can get the skin for $4.99, by the way. And this one looks pretty damn good. I really like this skin because of the metallic leg. And for the Saryn Donna, we'll be using the Rapala with Heartwood attachments all around, with the Avia Prime in the middle, because we don't want to cover up the assets. Next up is going to be Titania Prime. Titania Prime will be using her deluxe skin, the Empress helmet and skin. Saryn Donna is going to be the one that came with the Equinox Deluxe, is going to be Circadian. Attachment is going to be Avia Prime all around, or you can probably replace it with Heartwood if you want, really up to you. But yeah, it's mostly all white metallics and, you know, different shades. And, you know, instead of an orange, it's more like a bluish and purple color, and I really like that vibe. Next up is Trinity Prime. Trinity, in my opinion, does not have amazing fashion frame. This is probably my favorite one on her, and that's not saying a whole lot because it's not that great. But yeah, this is my Trinity Prime over here, using the Strega helmet and skin that is going to be from her deluxe one. And we're using a Power Saryn Donna, of course, with the Tenocon 2018 all around. Next up is Valkyr Prime. I do not play a lot of Valkyr, so excuse me if this looks absolutely abysmal, which I wouldn't blame you if you hate it, but you know, this is also a different look. It's mostly Avia. I don't ever play Valkyr in forever, but this is mostly the one that I use right here. It's going to be the Delusion skin and helmet. That is Tenogen, of course. I kind of want to get this skin right here. This one actually looks pretty nice. The Saryn Donna, we're going to be using the F-Star Saryn Donna, and I think this came with Nyx's Deluxe. Yeah, that looks pretty decent with the Rivali all around. So that is Valkyr. Robin Prime, pretty decent boy. We're using the Grax helmet and Grax skin because we really like that whole, you know, I guess low-key vibe. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, this vibe is you know, orange and purple, of course, and the Apollo Syndana with the fractured shoulder plates and the Chroma leg armor in the bottoms, with Edo Prime as chest. So yeah, Grax, you know, pretty much that for Robin Prime. I also have a second loadout here for Robin. Not really big fan. I prefer this one. Prefer that. Next up is Vault Prime, my little speed boy. We're using his Arrestor helmet, which is from Tenogen, and we're using his Xeno skin, which is also from Tenogen. So two different Tenogen items that are mixed up with Edo Prime armor all around. With the Syndana is going to be another Tenogen piece, Sideco Syndana. I think this looks pretty sick. If not, you can go for this Syndana, which pretty much works on him. I really like that one on him. Might switch to that. But yeah, next up we have a Wisp, which is my favorite Warframe in the entire game. Obviously, this was featured in my top 5 Warframes for Steel Pad video. So that is going to be Wisp with the what is it, Damas one. So yeah, the Damas helmet with the Delusion skin, and the attachments are going to be the Factor, and the Syndana is going to be Styx with the Heartwood on the legs. You could replace this Factor with the Heartwood, because I think I changed it from my last video. So yeah, we have Heartwood. It actually looks a little bit better, so I might rock Heartwood as a Factor from here on out. So yeah, put on Heartwood, and that is basically Wisp. In the middle is going to be the Usion one. Of course, I featured this on a lot of Warframes. Next up we have Wukong Prime. Wukong Prime is a great Warframe. We're using the Mifta helmet and skin. Is going to be from Tenogen with the Prime details turned off. For the Apollo, we're using the Apollo sign. Not Apollo. For the sign, we're using the Jotunheim sign. Sorry, I get a little mixed up here. I don't have some great memory, but yeah, the Jotunheim sign for Wukong Prime looks pretty sweet. Let's see. Zephyr Prime is next, and Zephyr Prime, not a great Warframe, but yeah, this is a Zephyr Prime right here with the Siggy helmet, I believe it's called. Yes, this is also from Tenogen 599, and the Hagamura skin also being Tenogen for about $6.99 or something like that. So yeah, guys, that is actually it for the video. That is all my fashion frame. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry I didn't go too in depth with it, unless this video would be about an hour long, so I want to keep this under 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. But yeah, I really hope you guys really enjoyed the video. This is going to be my whole fashion frame stick, orange and purple and all that, mostly blacks. So guys, that is pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. That has been NewYorkai's. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.